Go ahead.
Low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, that's good. Perfect. Welcome. This is the Hip Hop Heads podcast. I am Esteban Xound here with a very special guest. Now, I want to say this is probably the best that I've seen, the best freestyler that I've seen in the city. I'll say in the city, just because I haven't been to that many cities. But I'll say this is easily the best freestyler that I've seen in the city with my own two eyes. We have the wonderful Kareem Pires.
Hi, hello everybody. My name is Kareem Pires. My rap name Yung Papi Bonito. I like to freestyle. Thank you, Esteban. I appreciate the love.
And I mean that, like, for real. Plus, we're actually over at Zoe's house. This is where we usually have the freestyles.
Mm-hmm.
Every Wednesday, if anybody doesn't know, Cypher Club. Zoe's actually here. She's just she allowed us to actually record in her house. So thank you to Zoe for letting us record in her house. Thank you. But yeah, I basically just wanted to have a conversation with you, Kareem.
Yeah, no.
I do have questions that are prepped. I've been prepping for like a week.
Okay.
So I've been doing some research.
Okay, yeah.
So I definitely want to get into, before I want to get into who Yung Papi Bonito is, I want to get into who Kareem Pires is.
Okay, yeah.
So I do want to get into kind of some personal questions if you're okay with that.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
And yeah, answer it. Let me know if I'm getting too personal.
Yeah, of course, man. I'll answer the best of my ability.
All right. So first of all, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Kareem Pires. I'd say, even though Kareem Pires works probably first in a body shop and like works on cars, he also he raps. I had a pretty rough life growing up. I've found my solace, I guess, in music. I guess you could say, yeah. It's like therapy for me. I think Kareem Pires is a pretty average guy. He just goes home every day, like everybody else, and goes to bed and wakes up and ready for the next day.
Word. So you mentioned that you work over at the body shop.
Yeah.
And actually, in the first track of Growing Pains, you say you dedicated to everybody that. Oh, hold up! Someone just came in.
Chase got home.
Who got home?
Chase.
Oh, okay, what's up? You mentioned that you dedicated to everybody who hates the city that they're from, and everybody hates the job that they work.
Yeah.
So how much do you, first of all, hate the job that you work? And how much do you hate the city that you grew up in?
Okay, well, that was directed. I had a conversation with somebody before I was about to put Growing Pains out, and it really stuck with me. And it was about like this person felt like they felt like they were, I don't know, in a sense, like wasting their potential.
Was this person Mike?
Yeah.
Mike.
Michael
Daniel Broadfoot.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, Michael Daniel Broadfoot, who does the Sweetie Treaty show. Shout out to Michael. Very good guy.
He's amazing. I felt like he was like struggling with like kind of what he wanted to do with his life. He was talking to me about. He seemed pretty upset. So I try to talk to him about like my like struggles with that and stuff like that, with like just about that whole situation. And it reinforced it for myself, because I started telling him stuff that like basically I needed to start doing, I think. Right. And like started so it really like it I was hoping it, like, I think it did resonate with him. I think we had a really good conversation, but it resonated with myself like a lot. So I started really like practicing what I preach. I think that's like that's what they say. And I hate my job a lot because it impedes me. I think from like doing what I want to do all day, every day. Like I think I'm like obsessed with this, and that's why I hate my job so much. But I also hate waking up so early.
Well, what time do you got to get up in the morning?
It's not that bad. I wake up at like 6:30, 7.
That's still pretty early.
Yeah, it's still decently early, but I compared to other people that wake up, like people wake up at like 5, 4 in the morning, go to work, and like I think that like I don't know. I just think that's a waste of life to wake up to go to work every day, and like that's like 9 out of 10 people or whatever retire broke. So like you work every day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you work every day, and then at the end of the day you retire and you still you ain't got nothing to show for it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm much like I've just been on my thinking about like doing what I love. You know what I mean?
So I guess like, are you living by yourself?
Me, no. I live in. I didn't when I was growing up. I didn't really have like parents, so I didn't have like a lot of places to stay. And then my grandparents took me, and I just been living in my grandma's basement for a long time.
Which is actually, that's great that you mentioned that, because in Crazy Honest, which I'm gonna be crazy honest, it's probably my least favorite track on the project.
Okay.
But you mentioned something that's very important, and you say that your grandparents are tired of parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who really raised you when you were growing up?
I say my grandma raised me. Like she's the one that like taught me my like values, morals, and stuff like that. That's not to say like my mom before she passed away. She's a really good woman. I think. Like from what I like know about her life and stuff like that. I think she made some bad decisions for sure.
And is your grandma like in Calgary?
Yeah.
Is that where you're like you grew up in Calgary?
I grew up here. Yeah, my family's from like an island in Portugal called Terceira.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that because you told me that you went to Portugal this year.
Yeah. I just went for like a detox. Like after I released my album, I was like, okay, I need a break.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I went back to home. I guess like that place makes me feel, I guess, the most at home.
Do you consider that home?
Yeah, I would say like that's home. It's just like
And what's the island called?
Terceira.
Yeah.
It's in the Azores in Portugal. It's like there's Portugal, the mainland, and then there's like 9 islands, and then Terceira is one of the islands. Yeah.
Really?
My grandma's actually from another island. My dad's from Terceira. My grandma's from an island called San Miguel, and they met here.
Oh, okay. So they're both from Portugal.
Yeah, they're both from Portugal, but different islands, but they met here. Yeah, they met here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how often did you go back? Like, would you go back every so often?
I go back every like year, 2 years. I try. Like it's like I said, it's home, so you always want to be home. You know what I mean?
Right. Word. Well, like you were mentioning that your grandma basically raised you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And obviously your mother passed away this year.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to send out my condolences. I hate to sound so cliche.
No.
Because you probably get that all the time.
No, man. I thank you. I appreciate
But I think if anybody lost their mother, I think that would affect them. Like if I lost my mother, I know that would probably fuck me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's
that would fuck me up.
Yeah. No. It's fucking eye opening for sure. Yeah.
But I want to talk about how when she was alive, you talk about even on withdrawal, you said that your parents used drugs and abused it. Mm-hmm. How much of that were you privy to? How much of her addiction did you see?
I'd say like quite a bit. Like I came home, there would be like a lot of drugs on the table and stuff, and I remember like my like growing up, my babysitter was paid in weed. So like
really,
yeah, like I remember like my babysitter was like literally I remember like watching my mom pay my babysitter and being like, what, like what's going on? Yeah. But yeah, like so like I was around it. My stepdad was kind of a dickhead. So so like I lived with them for a while, and he kind of like, well they just weren't really there. Like they would just leave. I have 2 sisters that my mom had with this stepdad. And I basically like raised them myself. Word. And then my mom left to Ontario with them. She left me behind.
Really?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Oh,
how old were you?
I was like 10, 11 maybe.
That's crazy. So she just left you with your grandma then?
Yeah. Well, she didn't even leave me with my grandma. She just left. And then I like, because they would leave a lot. They'd leave. I came home from school and I remember they weren't there. And then.
Damn.
And then I stayed there for a while, and then eventually I called my grandparents. I think was what happened. I was just like, saying right, nobody's here, and then they figured it out that like she went to Ontario because my stepdad left Ontario. She chased after him with their kids. Yeah. So I was just like, I don't know. I guess like people would be like, yo, how do you not hate your mom for that? Like she left you behind and stuff like that.
Absolutely, I would feel resentment.
I think about it though. I think more like me, my stepdad. Like, my stepdad did a lot of bad shit to me. Like, abusive shit, too, and stuff. So I think my mom maybe was like in her head, she was like, I want to keep. She knew that like if she brought me along, it'd probably be bad, and like she's trying to keep me safe, I guess.
Away from the bullshit.
Yeah, away from like all that. Yeah, away from all that shit. She knew that like my grandparents would most likely take me, and that'd be better. Like my grandparents are amazing people. They have a beautiful home and stuff like that. So she knew that they could probably give me a better life. I think.
You know what? And I relate to you on that level because, like, me personally, my dad, he up and left, and he did that multiple times throughout my family, like throughout my life, where he just would up and leave. And next thing you know, he's in Miami for like a year or two, and my mom's were struggling to like pay bills, and the next thing you know, he comes back and tries to get with her, and so I relate to you on that level of like parents just getting up and leaving. Like I don't know.
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know how people just do that.
Yeah, it's fucked. But I don't know. Like it's also drugs too. Like I think drugs are probably a big contribution.
Probably not in the right.
Yeah, my mom's probably not in the right mind. That's probably why. But also, I could just be like, who knows? Like I could just be making excuses for her. She could just be like, she could have been like really like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna leave them behind. But like, I don't know. I guess you don't want to think about your parents in that light. You know what I mean? Nobody does.
Well. You also mentioned that your dad was the leader of a gang. How much of that did you see growing up? I didn't see my dad really ever. I saw my dad like maybe twice or three times growing up, like my real dad. And he's pretty like from stories I hear, like my brother, like my uncles, which I call my brothers because my grandparents raised me. They tell me like stories about him and stuff like that and stuff like that. He's pretty fucking hardcore dude. So I don't know. He also like. I remember he got mad because in Portugal it's like we eat pork and like all that kind of stuff like that. And my father was Muslim, and I remember he was like really upset when he saw me eating like pork and stuff like that, like at my grandparents' house. And my grandfather just like cussed him out. I remember it's just like he lives in my house, he eats what I eat. Really?
Yeah. So yeah, and then. Well, I'm not religious at all, I wouldn't say. And like even my grandparents are Catholic. I'm not Catholic.
Didn't transfer over?
Didn't really transfer over, no. I don't know. I think too many bad things happen to me for there to be a God.
Well, I guess you could look at it the other way. Like you've made it past so much bullshit.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I could look at it the other way, but I don't know. I think it's the Elon Musk thing, yo. I think we live in a simulation. I think it's all numbers.
Okay, word. This is the last question I want to touch on, like kind of the personal stuff.
Yeah.
On Crown, you said that your mother put you in white. I'm paraphrasing, but you say your mother put you in white schools.
Yeah, my grandmama put me in white schools.
In white schools to avoid trouble, but I guess I found it.
Yeah. Well, that's like ode to like when I went to like a really shitty school growing up. It's called Holy Cross, and then. After that, my parents like, cause I was being bad. My parents moved me to this like middle of nowhere school. It's called Indus. And,
okay, where's that?
It's like not far from like, it's not far from like Langdon, I guess. It was like the place. It's just a school, maybe like 100 kids, and like. Because my mom thought if I was gonna go into another school, I'd get into drugs or I'd sell drugs or some bullshit like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to that school, but I think at that school I had like the record. I had like 23, 24 suspensions.
Oh my god!
I almost got I almost got expelled a couple times. I was bad. I would fight with teachers, students. I was bad. So. Yeah, that's like I guess an old like I went from a school with like basically like there would be a few white kids here and there for sure. It was pretty like diverse, but then I went to that school, it was like all white kids. I was the darkest kid there.
Really?
And yeah, so like there's a lot of like there's a lot of racial shit. There's a lot of other shit too. There's a lot of shit.
Hey, you said that's still in Alberta, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you probably is it like outside of Alberta, like outside of Calgary?
No, yes, it's a little bit outside of Calgary.
Okay, so you probably felt some of that like racial tension.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like, of course, there's like there's dudes there that I went to school with that I loved. There's dudes that like I'm still friends with to this day. But there's dudes that like, oh.
Were you getting in like race wars and shit like that?
Yeah, well, like sometimes kids was like not even just like race wars. Kids are just mean. Like they just shit on you for the color of your skin. I remember I beat the shit out of this kid that was like 2-3 grades older than me, and he was being like racist because of how hairy I was.
Really?
And I remember just like, yeah, I remember I didn't get in trouble. I beat his ass. I like beat the fuck out of him. And I didn't get in trouble for it because he was being racist.
Well, anybody that doesn't know, Kareem does have a full-grown beard. So
yeah. But yeah, like I did a lot of. I broke some kid's nose there.
I guess we'll get into some hip hop shit now.
Okay, yeah.
Being that this is the Hip Hop Heads
yeah.
podcast. My question to you would be: when did you first find hip hop? Do you remember where, when, how?
Okay, yeah, I do remember. I had this. Oh yeah, okay. So when I was really young, I remember my brothers, all my uncles. I call them my brothers, but all my uncles, they were all into like hip hop a lot. One of my uncles actually DJ. His name is DJ Lambo Land.
Really?
Yeah, he DJs. He was doing bespoke. He's done standard. He's done basically all the clubs here. He's a pretty like.
What's his name?
DJ Lambo Land.
Lambo Land.
Yeah, he's amazing.
We're gonna have to do some research. We're gonna find him.
We're
gonna find DJ Lambo Land.
Yeah, no, he's amazing.
I probably ran into him in like this. If he's
maybe
still active in the scene.
Oh yeah, for sure, big time.
We probably ran into him.
Oh yeah, probably yeah. He wasn't even the one that got me really like. He's the one that probably like brought my love for hip hop like up. Like he would like. I would show him music and stuff like that. But, like, it was my brother Billy, I remember. Because he was actually in my, like, the room that I'm living in right now. He was living in that room. And I remember he had, like, weights and stuff in that. And he would work out and shit. And, like, I remember he'd just blast, like, Tupac and, like, G-Unit and shit like that while he'd work out. And I would sit outside of his door. He had his door closed and he'd be working out and he'd play, like, Tupac and G-Unit. And I would sit outside his door and I would listen, like through his door and stuff like that. Just, like... Because I liked hip-hop.
Being a nosy-ass kid?
Yeah, just being a nosy-ass kid. And then, like, from there, I just got, like... I remember, like, all through middle school, I was just a rap nerd growing up. I used to go on DatPiff and, like, just download every mixtape on DatPiff and just listen to them. Just, like, siphon through garbage for, like, one good song that you love or, like, one good mixtape that you love. I would... I used to write for hip hop. Like
your uncle put you onto hip hop.
Yeah, one of my uncles. Yeah, my uncle basically put me. He didn't know he was doing it. He was just working out, listening to shit. But he put me on.
That was bleeding through.
Yeah.
Word. And you said you used to write as well, right?
Yeah, I used to write for like hip hop like websites and stuff like that. Growing up, I had this like thing.
Really.
Yeah, because I was really into it. I liked all the stuff. And I didn't when I was younger. I rapped and stuff like that, but I didn't want to be like the kid that rapped out of like his city and stuff like that. I always thought like there's like some connotation around that. Yo. But then when I got older, I started realizing like if that's what you love to do, like that's what you love to do, man. Just do it. Like who gives a fuck about anyone?
That's crazy. I totally relate to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like right now, like you're the rapper side of me. You're like the side that like really will take it there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah,
that's really dope.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
One thing that you've quoted before is Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole as being like big influences in your music.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest thing you've learned from each artist?
Okay, yeah. So when I started rapping, I was like freestyling in cars a lot and stuff like that as I was getting older. Like when I was like, this is what I want to do. I was freestyling cars a lot with like my good friends. And my best friend Austin, he would always tell me about like voice control, like controlling your voice, and stuff like that. And I kind of like I was like, oh yeah, like voice control, whatever. Like you know what I mean? And I really started like listen. Like I've always loved J. Cole. J. Cole's probably one of my favorites. I love Kendrick too. And I listened to them a lot growing up. But then like when Austin started pointing out to me. Like those guys, like how they control their voice and stuff like that, and like that being like the difference. Cause like I could write really sick lyrics when I was younger, but I just had like the same voice, always the same. Like it just all sounded the same. It was boring, and like he showed me that like through like your voice, you can make things more interesting and like
Absolutely.
like ramp it up. So like I say, like the biggest thing I learned from those guys is just like from Kendrick and J. Cole is like their ability to use their voice to make like what they're saying so interesting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agreed with that. Like, one thing that I noticed, especially with Kendrick's music,
Mm-hmm.
like especially with, let's say, for example, on the Carter 5 Mona Lisa,
Mm-hmm.
the way he changes his voice.
Yeah, it's like he's playing a character.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I notice that when I hear you rap, is it's not like you're playing a character, but it's almost like you go into the rapper mode and your voice changes. Like you can feel the aggression in there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
it's like I've worked on. See, like that's a big thing too. Is like I don't even think I'm like all the way there yet. Like I think I have a really good rapper voice. You know what I mean? But like all my other like just my stock like core rapper voice is like I think it's pretty refined. Like I've refined it. But like all my other voices and stuff like that, I need like they all need work. I think I'm on the cusp, I guess, of like figuring it all out. You know what I mean?
Shouts out.
Yeah. Shouts out. Like just released a track called Cusp because it basically the same idea of like that's what I was thinking about. But yeah, it's just like just working on my voice. I think is a huge thing. I think once I learn vocal control better and the ability to like how to play my music, like I want to learn how to like play the piano and stuff like that. Once I like get those things down, I think I don't think there'll be a lot that stop me from success.
Word.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get into like a quick hip hop debate.
Mm-hmm.
Damn versus KOD.
Damn versus KOD.
Which one would you say is the better project?
Okay, that's tough. I say Damn is the all-around better project just because of the verse on Fear.
Right. That
the verse on Fear is crazy.
Absolutely. He said he says that that's his best verse.
Yeah, and I think
that
it
he
is.
Ever wrote.
Yeah, it's probably one of his best verses he's ever wrote. I think like the conceptual, like all the like the things that makes Damn better is not like is maybe not even the music. It could just be like the conceptualness, like the ideas behind it, all the like the little things that like he added to, like you can play it front to back, back to front, like,
and it's a different
yeah,
project.
It's a different project, like all those things that like made like Damn sick. Like the music was sick, but like all the other like little small ideas that make Damn sick was what I think gives it like a better album,
so much better project
than KOD. But I still think like KOD is not. I don't think KOD is like a. I don't think it's a bad project. I don't think it's a amazing project, but I think it's a project that he needed to make. Like I think it's an amazing message.
Right.
I think like the sound that he's like kind of like driven on that album is like just is like a show of versatility from J. Cole. Like he's
trap sounds.
Yeah, he's showing like people like he can do like he can do it your way if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Like
right.
he can do it your way if he wanted to. But like. And like he did it. He showed it. Now like he's really like from what I know, like what I've been reading and stuff like that. He's releasing a mixtape and an album coming up. Like that's what he's teased. And like I'm excited for the mixtape because I know it's gonna be like a J. Cole mixtape. You know what I mean? And then like the album, I guess we'll see what happens. But I think like that's gonna be more like in J. Cole's bag of like towards like a Forest Hills or like what's the other one with the. What's the other one with the he's
Truly Yours?
No, not Truly Yours. It's the newer one. It's the one that has Neighbors on it and Change.
Think selling dope.
Yeah. That one. It's got that. What's it called? For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah, For Your Eyes Only. That's.
Yeah, I think it'll either be in that like For Your Eyes Only bag or like Forest Hills bag, and you'll get that more like this is like the Kendrick Damn like side of things. It's like all conceptual, has all these ideas, and I think that's what we're gonna get next from J. Cole. I think right now he just wanted to like put that out because it needed to be out there, and then this next thing, like I think if I gave Damn a rating, it'd be 10 out of 10. If I gave KOD a rating, it'd be 8 out of 10.
You know, and I totally agree with you. I think conceptually Damn's the better project.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one thing that both of the projects do very well is they both appeal to a wide range of people.
Yeah.
While still getting their message across.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Like they're still putting in content and substance but it still sounds good.
Yeah.
It's something you can still bump in the whip.
For sure. Like, yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people didn't like that 40 Eyes Only album by J. Cole. But, like, so beautiful. Like, it's just actually musically beautiful. It's just, everybody doesn't like it because it wasn't what they were expecting from him, like, when he released it. Like, you came off Forest Hills and all that stuff, and then you released, like, this sad, like, you've been gone for 2 years or whatever it was, and then you release this, like, beautifully, like, almost, like, soft, sad sounding album, you know what I mean? And nobody, like, everybody wanted bangers. So, like, but, like, I really like what he said is, like, while I'm on top, like, he's on top at that time. He's like, while I'm on top, I want to put out the message that I want the people to hear, not, like, what they want to hear from me. Like, I'm going to tell them what I want to say.
Right.
So, I have mad respect for that. I think it's a beautiful album still. I think both those albums, I think KOD and Damn are beautiful albums. I think those guys can do no wrong now. Unless they release, like, unless they went, like, full Kanye or whatever, and, like, release just, like, some crazy shit that's, like, off, okay, like, well, the Kanye thing, like, too, is, like, it's not like, it's like, it's, I'm more okay with it because it's Kanye. Like, it's not that off base for Kanye to do some, like, weird shit like that, right? But if, like, Kendrick or J. Cole were to do something in that regard, it would be like, whoa, okay, like, you guys, like.
And I do want to preface it because recently what just happened is Kanye went into the White House and met with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So that's been in the news.
Yeah, well, I heard some stuff about that. It was like he went to the, like coincidence, like he went to the White House, and then the next day, like, Trump passed some, like, bylaw or law or whatever that, like streaming services have to pay a certain amount of money to artists.
Really?
Yeah, so, like, in a sense, like, it makes it look like Kanye went there to, like, achieve, like, a bigger goal, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, like, regard like that. Okay, I don't hate on, like,
I didn't hear about that.
Like, I won't hate on Kanye for liking who you like. Like, I don't hate on anyone for liking who they like. Like, you like Donald Trump, you like whoever, but, like, I don't fuck with the dude. So, like, it's not just this, like, for me, it's like, okay, well, if I have some friends and I don't fuck with this one guy, my friends are gonna go hang out with them, I just won't go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's it. Like, I'm not gonna give it my attention, my drama, my whatever, but, like, I just won't go. And that's how I see Kanye. Like, yeah, you can hang out with Trumps or whatever, but, like, then I just won't really, like, associate myself with, like, what you're doing, I guess. You know what I mean?
Right.
I won't be, like, consumed. Like, to me, like, I love Kanye. I love, like, Graduation. I love, like, what's the one? The one with the bear on it that's black. The first, I think it's like Late Registration. Late Registration. Late Registration. I love all those older projects by him. I think those are amazing. But, like, the newer stuff's kind of, like, it's not distasteful for me. It's just not in my taste.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And I think that's maybe it's a part of what's going on personally.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe you can speak to that. Like, a lot of what happens personally definitely reflects on the music.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's probably not living a normal life. Well, by no means is he living a normal life. But, like, it just must be tough. Like, especially being, like, that age. Like, everybody's always, like, he's getting older now. Like, everybody's always watching you for what you're gonna do next, and, like, people always, like, the thing that I always think about, like, what must drive him crazy is, like, people always talk in some way about your girl. Like, I could never, like, people always talk about some way about his girl and stuff like that. That, like, to me, that's not right. Like, it's just, like, it would bug the fuck out of me too. So I see why.
Your perspective on the whole situation is very down to earth. It's very much like you're putting yourself in, like, a regular situation.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think
that's a very interesting perspective.
All those people, like, the biggest thing is like
it's a lot of empathy for somebody.
Yes, celebrities, and I have empathy for celebrities. I have empathy for, like, most people, but I'm, like, my buddy said that to me, where he's just like, I remember he, like, would meet with, like, stars and stuff like that. And he's telling me, like, when he was younger, he'd be like, oh, fuck. But, like, now it's just, like, they're just a person. Like, they're just a dude. They're just, like, they do something amazing. Right. Yeah, for sure. But, like, they're just a guy.
Just like me and person. You. Yeah. Right. And I think we put a lot of weight onto what these celebrities do when at the end of the day, they're just a person.
Yeah.
So, like, it may seem like Kanye's making a move for, maybe he did make a move for the music industry in general, but I think a lot of that was self-driven. Like, I think he just wanted to meet with Donald Trump and
for sure,
get off whatever was on his chest.
Yeah, man. And Kanye's got some issues that you already addressed. So, like, you don't know, like, what he's going through, like mentally, stuff like that. He could have like some big plan. I thought like at first when I saw him like going with like Trump and all those guys, I was like, oh, like he said he's running for president in 2020. Like this is how like this, because you ain't gonna win presidency like independent. You know what I mean? Like you either going Democrat or Republican.
Right.
So I was thinking like, oh, like Donald Trump's gonna be out. Like Kanye's probably gonna try and like be the Republican, you know what I mean? Like that's what I thought. Like but now I don't know. That looks like kind of less likely.
He might still run for president. He might. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Donald Trump's opening the door for anybody to come through and try and run.
That's
for president.
true. Yeah, that is true.
Kareem, you can run for president right now at this point.
I might.
For real, like honestly, he's opened the door for anything.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. The last thing I want to ask you about, kind of this topic.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite aspect of hip hop, and what's your least favorite aspect of hip hop?
Oh, my favorite aspect of hip hop. I think my favorite aspect of hip hop is intelligence. Like if you can give me something that I'll be like, that'll make me like say something that'll make me just go like, holy fuck, or like just like the ability, like the words, like how people like play with the words and stuff like that. Wordplay, I guess it's called. But like just the way that they like make things, because it's not just wordplay. Like I said, it's like sound of voice too, like voice control, like the way they can make certain things sound and stuff like that. Like that stuff really appeals to me. Like I guess lyrics, like on the lyric side of things. What doesn't appeal to me about the music industry, I'd say how saturated it is. I talked about that before.
Absolutely. You said that it's saturated.
Yeah, I said it's very saturated. It's harder for, like, you know, like everybody and their mom is a rapper now. And
and that's part of the reason why I don't want to rap anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so saturated.
Oh, it's so saturated. But, I don't know, like, two things. Like, I think it's bad. I think it's really bad because it makes it harder for dudes like me that like are serious about it, and I think like have talent to be doing it and stuff like that, to like get noticed, because like there's millions of dudes that just, you know, crank up like reverb on their voice and get on like some easy trap beat and like they make a decent song or whatever, and then they make 60 of the same ones like that, and then like it's hard to find my one song that I took like 10 hours to make. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whatever, you know what I mean? So but like I get it. That's game. Like that's how it works.
Yeah, right now it's fair play for anybody.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair play. But like I truly believe like I remember when I was playing sport. Like I played sports a lot growing up, and I was decently good at them. I'd say I was pretty good at most sports. But like I remember like one guy, I can't remember who it was, but he always used to tell me like, if you have talent, like if you like, don't worry. Like if you're good, like if you're good, like don't worry about like meeting the right people, talking to the right people. Like they'll find you. Like if you're good enough, like they'll come to you. You know what I mean? Like that. I agree. So like I've just been like firm believer of that. Like I just want to get to a point where like skill is undeniable. You know what I mean? Like you can't deny like skill. Like so, yeah. I think that's what I don't like and what I like about the rap industry. Yeah.
Word. Okay. I want to play a track.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I want to let you pick the track.
Oh, okay.
What track off? I'm on your SoundCloud right now. Mm-hmm. What track do you want to play?
Do you want something from Growing Pains, or do you want something
anything
newer? I'd like to play Cusp. I think Cusp is I put a lot of work into Cusp. I like the way it sounds. And it's
produced by OJ the producer. Now, do you know the producer?
Yeah, I don't know him. I don't know him like I haven't met him face to face, but I've had some like extensive like phone conversations with him and stuff like that. Like I talked to him. I think me and him are gonna do an EP together pretty soon. Yeah. We've been just talking about like ideas and stuff like that.
How did you meet him?
I was with like Prof one day, and Prof put me on to him. And I had listened to like a couple of his stuff, and I was like, yeah, I like this cat a lot.
Okay.
And then
Prophet with the Northeast Boys.
Yeah.
KCR.
Yeah. And then so I went. I sent him a message, and I was like, yo, can I buy anything that like you've been working on or whatever? And I bought like 2 things from him, and I'll release those. And then he liked it a lot, so he called me actually, and he was like, yo, like, I like what you're doing. I haven't, I want to work. I haven't been working with anybody. I want to work with someone. Like, I want to work with you. Like, let's do an EP together. So we can
expect some music coming out.
Yeah, I got something with
word.
him. I'm working on an EP with Charlie. He comes to Cypher Club.
I don't know if
you've met him. He's a crazy producer, amazing producer.
Is he the guy that was playing the beats?
Yeah. He's got like blonde hair.
Maybe.
He's like a big dude.
Big black dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
blonde
I think,
hair. Yeah. He's really, like, he makes some really beautiful, like, sounding beats. He's pretty diverse too. Like, I've heard him play like boom boppy shit. I've heard him play like stuff like Amine would hit, Kendrick would hit. Like,
really,
he's got a lot of he's got a catalog. So I'm excited to work with him.
All right, word. Well, let's get into this track, and then we'll get back to the questions in a bit.
This morning woke up, asked myself, am I still alive? Cause as of late, I've been living like I've already died. My brain's fried, and I got a lack of patience. Same ones to love you, same ones to say you ain't shit. Hold up, let me breathe, now I'm getting fucking anxious. Lost most of my friends, cause I wanted to be famous. And you know what? Turns out it was painless. Ain't no dirt on my name, the boy's still stainless. Steal of a deal out of grandma's basements. I kept it real, you could've caught a facelift. Grab your head, make you bite the pavement. It's the same fucking statement that got you in this place, bitch. Face it. Ha! His parents don't love him. Used to be embarrassed till I started saying fuck him. Beat their ass a couple times, now that's why they duck 'em. Wonder if they cherished any of the moments while I punched them. Okay, well maybe I'm arrogant. Maybe the kid will only act out cause you stare at him. It isn't fair for him. Kids was always acting like you get to choose your parents, man. But if that's the case, explain Clarence, man. Incoherence, man. Interference and the disappearance of my perseverance. Damn, you cursed to hear this, man. Hope if you came out to support after you got zero plans. Cause I'm the hero, man. The young Ben Shapiro fam. Looking like a miracle, all pinked out. I'm Killer Cam. Been in vans, recording fans. I've been a goat, you've been a lamb. I've been in jams that'll make your shit your fucking underpants. Under hose and under ass. On the pull, I'm always last. Had a task in the past, but now my bitch is always fast. You've been a pick, I've been a draft. Always bigger picture, y'all stuck doing arts and crafts. Getting tats, I wear a mask so no one sees my ugly ass. From front to back, custom slack, I run the game, y'all run it jack. Get enough for this shit. On my way to the money, on the cusp of this shit. This is celebration. Pour some cups in this bitch. Toast to all my demons. I fell in love with the bitch.
That's fire. Hey. Hold on. Before I play it again, we're about to run the numbers up. I was dope.
Thank you.
I was dope.
Thank you.
I like one of the lines that you said. You said you lost your friends on the search to being famous.
Yeah.
It was painless.
Yeah. Ain't no dirt on my name. The boy's still stainless. Yeah.
That's fire. I like that.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, like
Yeah, what was the thought process behind that track?
Okay, yeah. So I had like two main ideas in that track. I think one of them was the outerlying idea of like people like they've tried to bring me down in the past, like people like bullying me in the past about like not having parents and shit like that. But also like I think there's also like that other side of things, like the more like the good, like the bright side of things on that track of like I'm on a cusp of like I'm about to. I feel like I'm like right there. Like I feel like I just need a little bit more. You know what I mean? To be like where I want to be at. So I'm happy. I'm happy with my progression. Like no matter how many of these people have like tried to hold me down and shit like that, I'm happy with like how far I've come.
Word. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much what the track represents.
Yeah.
Like you're happy as far as like how much you overcame and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that's
I feel you. All right. One thing I wanted to ask, I kind of want to get into who Yung Papi Bonito is.
Yeah.
I think we've touched on who Kareem Pires is
Mm-hmm.
and where you're coming from. And the reason I ask you all those personal questions is because me growing up, my favorite artist, not only did I give a fuck about their music
Mm-hmm.
and what like how good the music was and what went into all the music,
Mhm.
but I also cared where they came from.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's
Like,
important.
and
Yeah.
Exactly. And like what made them.
Yeah. Relatable shit.
Absolutely. Because I think like when you put that out into the world, I think people can relate to you on that much of a
Mhm.
deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because people will definitely hear the music and be like, who's Kareem Pires?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Or who's Yung Papi Bonito, right?
Mhm.
Like, who is this guy?
Uh.
So I think that what I want to do is definitely open that conversation up
Yeah. Yeah.
so people can get to know who you are.
Yeah, yeah. Yung Papi Bonito. Yung Papi Bonito was a name this girl gave me in middle school to, I guess, like fuck with me, or was it high school? I can't remember. This is pretty early on. And people try to fuck with me with it. But then, cause I like to rap and stuff like that, and so that's what they were making fun of me by calling me that.
Oh, okay. So it was like they were first trying to make fun of you with that.
Yeah, but so then I used it. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna use it. I like it. I like the way it sounds. I was like, it sounds like appealing. I was like, and you motherfuckers can't stop saying it. So I'm glad. So yeah. But yeah, I think Yung Papi Bonito was like in a sense of like that, not alter ego-ness, but like just some like a name that I can use to be more okay, I guess, in my like self with like not giving a fuck about, like not holding back, I guess, like not holding, like saying what I actually feel, saying what I actually mean, saying like talking about stuff that I wouldn't normally talk about from like Kareem. I would just talk like I'd rather like comment on it from like.
Oh, okay.
And it like helps me give me a lot of times when I rap from Yung Papi Bonito, I feel like I don't rap like I am talking about myself at times, but it's almost like I'm giving like almost like an outside perspective, because like a lot of times I like while I'm rapping as Yung Papi Bonito, I shit on myself.
Right.
Because like I know that Kareem does stuff that he shouldn't do, but I like there's it's like I don't know, it's I think it's healthy for me. It's unhealthy and it's healthy. It's unhealthy to shit on yourself, but it's healthy to know that like what you're doing at times is wrong. So it's been like humbling for me, but also it's a bad thing too. I should probably just own up to my shit like myself, but it helps me cope, I guess.
Absolutely. I think it's like a great outlet for you to put your flaws on Front Street instead of trying to hide them. I think when you I guess you call it shitting on yourself, but I think people kind of relate to it as like you're putting everything out on Front Street.
Yeah.
So we can kind of see the good and the bad of you. And I think that helps people relate to you.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to be something I'm not one, and I don't want to like I always thought about like I always think about kids whenever, which is weird. I always think about kids like whenever like I put music out and stuff like that, even if it's like got a lot of profanity and shit. But I think about like what am I like, how is a kid gonna take this? And How like I always think about that because like I think as like rappers too, like most of your fans are young. Like, most of your fans are young, and then like going forward with that, like you have to understand how much influence you have. Which when I was younger on Growing Pains, I think I was a lot more like whatever with what I said. I didn't care. Like I wasn't thinking about kids. I think like when I first started Growing Pains, I was just like, I'm just gonna rap, like whatever. I'm gonna be out there, crazy, doesn't matter. And then as I got older, I started thinking like, yo, but like how do I?
Well, I think we got some personal tracks on Growing Pains.
Yeah.
I think there is. Like I wouldn't say that you totally. Like, what do you mean by?
I say like earlier on, like when I first like the first couple tracks on Growing Pains, like there's personal shit, but there's a lot of shit that like I talk about how I reacted to certain situations, and sometimes I, in a sense, like I'm like bragging about it, like being braggadocious in certain like situations where I shouldn't be bragging about, or I shouldn't be looking at it in that light or whatever. And I think that like if a kid listens to that and is like, oh yeah, that's cool because he thinks that's cool, you know what I mean? Like I don't want that later. But I do think like I don't regret it by any means, because I think like I truly believe like even with the mission I had with Growing Pains was like I wanted people to see like where I started, where I ended, because like with all my favorite rappers like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Earl, Tyler, like all those guys. There's a list. Our list goes on. You can always see like whoever your favorite rapper is. You can see like where they started. You can always see like their first. You can go Eminem, the best rapper ever, and you can go listen to like his first like project still, and like you can see like where he started and like how like where he got to, or like where he was at this point in his career or whatever. You know what I mean? So like I think that's really, it's good for kids to see, because I remember growing up like. Like Kendrick was a big one. Like I'd listen to like a lot of his older shit, and then like I'd listen to him like all the way coming up. And I remember just being like, yo, like this guy could rap like this before, and like now he can rap like this. You know what I mean? So like anything's possible. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like it was good for me to see that. So like that's like where I think about kids too, is like I want like when later on when I'm in my career and I think like I'm making my best stuff, I still want them to be able to see like what I did before, so they know like you don't just start out as Ice Cube. You know what I mean? You don't start out as like anybody. You start out like from scratch, like yourself, like whatever you got, and then like from there you got to build on it. And like I wanted people to know that. So that was like my goal with Growing Pains.
Well, when did you first start rapping? Do you remember where you were? When it was, who you were with?
I started rapping in my house, like when I was younger. Like I would just write little raps. I remember like the first rap I wrote was I rewrote. I took AOPP by Naughty by Nature. OPP. Sorry, by Naughty by Nature. Yeah, and I rewrote it to AOPP, and I can't remember what AOPP stood for, like still to this day. But I remember rewriting it to AOPP, and. And it like it, dope. Yeah.
Wait, how old were you when you wrote that?
I was like maybe like 9, 8, 10. Young. I was a young cat.
Young Papi.
And then like I kind of, like I said, like I didn't want to be that kid that rapped out of my city, so I kind of quit. I write shit like here and there, but like I just kind of wouldn't rap. And then I got to a point where I was like 18 or 19 in that, like 17 to 19 in that range, and I was just like, yeah, I want to do this with my life. I think I'm good enough. Like I think I can do it. I've listened to enough. I've heard like I've absorbed so much of it that I think that like this is what I'm probably most knowledgeable about. So like if I can turn my like knowledge into applied knowledge, I think that there won't be a lot to stop me.
Now, do you remember why you first started rapping?
Yeah. Because like weed, I think. Weed. Like yeah, like I started smoking weed in cars with my friends, and we didn't have anything to do. Like we just sit there. Sometimes we play on our phones, like talk, and then it wasn't until like one of my buddies like, yo, why don't we freestyle? And like we kind of like started practicing it and like getting like better and better, and then eventually like it got to the point where we were really comfortable, and it was just like what we were doing every day. Like I get off work, I go pick up my best friend Donald in Austin, and we go to a back road and we sit there and we smoke weed and fucking rap all day.
So basically, what started it was you being with your friends and
Yeah, just
having
like being in
nothing
that.
to do.
Yeah, just nothing to do. Like I've always loved it. I've always like had like this high regard for it. I've always had that like earning to do it, I guess. But like I never like acted upon it until I started really like enjoying myself and loving it. You know what I mean?
Word. Now I hear a lot of Lil Wayne and I hear a lot of Odd Future in your music.
Yo, that's awesome. Thank you.
I do, and you've mentioned Lil Wayne multiple times in the project.
Yeah, I love Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's probably my fucking mixtape legend idol. Love him to death. Like I probably wouldn't even do it if it wasn't for Lil Wayne.
Really?
Yeah, like I just like that guy is to me like his vocal control, his vocal uniqueness, his bars. He does everything off the top, so like he doesn't write down anything. Everything that he does is freestyle. He had enough like talent, like ear talent, like to know that Drake was gonna be as big as he was before he was like as big as he was. Like he is by no like GOAT fucking genius man of the world, Lil Wayne, by far, bar none. Like so smart, such a genius, musical genius, and just a personal genius. And I just love him as a person too. Like he's so smart. He has the ability to do so many things, and he just wants to skateboard, smoke weed, drink lean, and rap. Like that's that's so sick. Like that's so dirty. Like I love him to death. Yeah. Big influence in my life. I grew up listening to a lot of Lil Wayne too. I listen to everything, but yeah, Lil Wayne stuck with me pretty hard.
Would you say you modeled yourself after him when you first started rapping?
When I first started rapping, yeah, I think I try to sound like Lil Wayne at times, like a lot. Yeah. But it's tough because like I have a very like mid voice where I can go pretty, like I have a good range where I think I can go pretty high and I can go pretty low. But I think Lil Wayne has like a higher end, like a higher voice where he can hit those really like
those high ends.
He like high, so he can hit
Right.
really high highs, and like he can go low at times, but his range is like more higher.
And that takes a lot of like vocal control. Like,
Yeah.
you have to practice that.
No, yeah, for sure. And like his voice already helped, like his voice being as unique as it is already, like it helps
Absolutely.
him like tenfolds, right? So I think as like I realized that like me and him are different, like we have different just styles. Like I have to like kind of separate myself from him. But like lots of rappers had it. Like Childish Gambino, his biggest inspiration was Lil Wayne at the time, and he released an entire mixtape. Like sounds like very. If you listen to, I think it's called Cul-de-sac, and it's a Childish Gambino mixtape, and it sounds so similar to like a Lil Wayne mixtape.
Yeah, even if you hear Kendrick's older stuff.
He was
definitely
inspired by
Lil
Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne's one of the GOATs, I have to say. Like undeniably, just up there, top 5 for sure.
I think he's pretty much in hip hop's DNA at this point. If you're rapping, you kind of came up on Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like he's in the DNA, and I think he's like he's sold the most, or he's had the most. Like he's been at the top for like rappers who I think maybe Drake's the only person that is gonna compete with him. But like I said,
and that's still under.
He's
Lil Wayne.
still under Young Money, still under
exactly.
Still under. So at the end of the day, like I said, go when it's all said and done. I think people put Lil Wayne in their top 3, top 5.
Now you said that you started freestyling with your friends, just smoking weed or whatever.
Mm.
What was the push to make you take it really serious?
When I fucking realized I was good. When I realized I was, when I thought I was, like, I won't say I was like better than anybody or anything like that. But my 2 friends were like really gassing me up. They were like, no, you're good at this, blah blah blah. And then is when I would get in the car with other dudes, new dudes and stuff like that, and I would just like blow them out of the water, blow them away. And it just like I started really thinking like, yo, I'm good at this. Like I need to do this. Start doing the steps. You know what I mean? Taking the steps I need to do to make this my life. And then what, like, I think that was like the first thing that pushed me, and I kind of started making tracks, and I wasn't even that serious. Like I was still making the tracks with like a little snowball mic in my best friend's brother's room, and then I would move to my best friend's like room who had like a better mic, and then finally I got with like Cash in the studio and stuff like that with all those guys. But like I the second push was Cypher Club, I think, from Zoe. I think Zoe, like, because I remember rapping in front of people. I had never rapped in front of big crowds and stuff like that before. And like when I started blowing away, I remember, never forget the second day I rapped in front of that big, like there was a big crowd, and there was this guy who was wearing pizza shoes. I'll never forget him because they called him pizza shoes because he was wearing pizza shoes. But I was rapping, and the entire time, like while I was rapping, this guy's like mouth was on the floor. Like he was just like looking. He's just like looking. It was like kind of scaring me. Like he just had to, like his mouth was like he couldn't. It's like he couldn't fathom it. Like he couldn't understand, and like stuff like that makes me feel good. Yeah, it's like a boost to your ego and stuff like that. But like I don't know. Like it's what ultimately drives me to be, I think, better. Is like because like yeah, that's one guy. But just because that one guy thinks you're like good and stuff like that, that's just like. That's just one person, you know what I mean? You gotta keep, like, it was like that drive is like, I want more people. I want like more people to hear me, more people to experience this, because I think like I have like talent, you know what I mean? And I think, yeah, it was like ultimately like Zoe helped me big time.
Shouts out to Zoe.
Yeah, shouts out to Zoe, yeah. Yeah, because if it wasn't for all like people coming to hear me rap, or even just hearing other people rap too, I wouldn't want to do it as much as I do. So
word. Yeah,
like two forces. Like I was pushed once. I think you get pushed more. I think I'll probably get pushed again. Like there'll probably be a point in my life where something will happen and it'll be like, all right, I gotta take it this much more serious. You know what I mean? I think they come in waves.
Like levels.
Yeah, there's levels to it. Yeah.
Word. You said that you wanted to help people with your music.
Yeah.
How has music specifically helped you?
Oh, music saved my life. J. Cole saved my life. Kendrick Lamar saved my life. Lil Wayne saved my life. Drake saved my life. There's a lot of people I'm not mentioning right. Mos Def saved my life. I can sit here for hours talking about people who saved my life.
And what do you mean by saved your life? Because people say that, but like
I know people say that. I know
that you mean it.
Yeah.
Because like of the shit that you've been through.
Yeah, it's just
like, I think
it's just
need that.
In like music's defined. I'd say music's shaped who I am. Like I'd say that like if it wasn't for certain albums in my life, I wouldn't understand certain things and certain perspectives, and I wouldn't be the person I am to this day. Like I understand, like, okay, for example, Childish Gambino. Because of the internet and like even projects before that, I remember not like being like kind of thinking that like almost that style of rap was very corny and stuff like that, and being yourself was like, at that time it was like being yourself and all that kind of stuff like that was considered like very corny and not like there wasn't a room for it, there wasn't a place for it in like the culture, I guess.
Right.
But those guys really I remember like listening to those guys coming up and like making it cool to like, yo, I'm a black dude that doesn't like fuck around with hood shit and stuff like that, but like I'm like I struggle with things and stuff like that. I'm still gonna talk about them and make them sound beautiful, make them sound hard, and make them sound whatever at moments. And like, so I remember like I fell in love with that album after like a couple listens and stuff like that, and that really like encouraged me to be like myself more times instead of acting like everybody wanted me to act in the room. So, like, that's just, like, one example. Like, we were talking about, like, Born Sinner by J. Cole. It's, like, helped me deal with, like, learning, like, that. I feel like Born Sinner is a very good album to listen to, like, while you're, like, with your, like, first ever girlfriend, first love. I think, like, that album helped me, like, understand what love is a little bit more and, like, stuff like that. Like, I could sit here and talk about albums that, like, changed my perspective on, like, so many different things. And it wasn't for them. Like, yeah, okay, maybe, in a sense, I understand what you're saying. Like, oh, maybe it didn't save my life. But it saved me from being ignorant. And I think that, like, knowledge is power. Ignorance isn't bliss.
Word.
Ignorance is just stupidity, so.
I definitely just farted. All right, I want to get into a track. And we'll take a quick break. What track do you want to play? Can I play a track?
Yeah, play your favorite, man.
My favorite is definitely Tax Money.
You like Tax Money the most? Really?
Okay, I want to play this because I want to be here for this.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
The name's needed. Needle bitch fall in love with placebos and needles then. Didn't feel it, so I guess it's needles then. Wish I did. Followed by me, not speaking in. Knees weak and ask what we doing every weekend then. We can spend, yeah. We can spend, long as your girl don't dirty my bed sheets again. Skeeted and then tweeted them, Twitter just bird feeded them. Paula Abdul, I guess I'm just not feeling them. So what's the deal with them? Freaking with the freaks and geeks. So then high school was my peak and I just hit my fucking peak again. Sneaking in, my mama's fucking tweaking. So you better tread lightly if those floorboards been creaking, son. Please get out, you see, get out, you see. Earl wrote it, this blasphemy. He can take me to our futures, motherfucking academy. Tuitions to be handled by some more white niggas. Tax money looking like I am Saudi Arabian. Homo sapien, fuck a French Canadian in the fucking gymnasium. My dick gets harder than motherfucking titanium. Young Papi from the Mediterranean, looking like a legal alien. I'm a stone cold assailant. In case you meant I'm the one they asking for. Papi used to act before, used to need the homies, but now I'm the whole attacking force. Heard it from the happy horse, still hate your fucking tone of voice. Turn your ass around here, yeah, Saturdays for the fucking boys.
Alright, hold up. Okay, we're back. Mm-hmm. Okay, my question to you is, why do you not like that track? Why do you not like that track?
It's just the first, like, I like it, of course, I made it. I can't say I don't like it, but, like, it's just my least favorite track because it's the first track I did.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first, I'll go in chronological order. So, like, from start to finish, like, it's the first track I did. It was on a little snowball mic in my buddy's room. I wrote it at work. And I was just, like, it was the first try of me rapping. It was the first song
That was the first song that you, that you recorded ever?
Yeah, ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I was just...
That's really, really good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
For the first time?
Yeah.
That's...
So, yeah, I was just... I don't like it because I don't think it's a full... I think if I were to go back and do it today, it would be 30 times, 40 times better and stuff like that. And I would take lyrics out and I would change it around. But, like, that's with anything. So, it's just... Yeah, it's just the first thing I did. And everybody always, like... Especially with progression and stuff like that, you never like to look back at your first thing and be like, oh, this is better than anything I've ever done. So I think, like, of course, I've always tried to I've always been trying to top Tax Money, like, further and further. So I think that's probably why it's my least favorite.
Got it. It's the first track you made, and you don't want your first track to be the best track that you ever made.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, that's... For me being a fan, that's like my favorite track.
Yeah, man. No, power to you, man. Like, I like, as long as you like one, I'm happy. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's
Now, you said that it was in chronological order.
Yeah.
What was your intention behind doing it like that?
Like I said, I wanted people to know, like, I started here, I got to here. You know what I mean? Mm. I also wanted to show growth throughout the album. The theme is conceptual. Like, I wanted to be like I said, I didn't want it to be. I call it album, but it's not album. It's not a mixtape either. It's an experience. I think, like, front to back. You gotta listen to it. It's a story. It's about growth. There's lots of different styles in it. There's, like, I've taken music from all over. Right? I've experimented on it. I've tried different, like, schemes. I've tried different things. The only thing there is it's stylized in a mixtape, like a dedication style mixtape. It's all raps. There's not a lot of singing, if any singing. There's tracks that are less rappy, like your least favorite one is Crazy Honest, which is, like, one of my personal favorites.
Really?
Yeah, because I think, like, the way it sets mood in that track, and, like, I think the lyrics being, like, few and far between and, like, sparse, I think that's what makes them so powerful. Like, okay. And I think, like,
it definitely sets a mood.
Yeah.
I guess I just wasn't. Maybe I got to be in the mood to feel.
Yeah, like, I like. Yeah. So I call that. I think it's like a nighttime song. It's like yeah. If you listen to, like, alone by yourself at night, I think it's a nice song to listen to, like, with headphones on. I think, like, it has, like, the music in that track is so beautiful as opposed to all the other ones, because I took like a sample from like a mixtape that, like, Earl released called Solace, and it's just, like, a little part where he doesn't even rap on it. It's just, like, that piano. So I took that, and then on the other half I used like some thing that we already had made, I think my buddy made it or something like that, and we just pieced it together, and it meshed really well. It sounded really nicely, and I wanted it was that track's actually a concept of like it's how an argument would go. It's like a conversation to start. It's like I'm talking in that song, basically like I'm rap talking, almost like how Cousin Stiz does.
Right.
And then like,
hey,
and
shouts
then
out to Cousin Stiz.
shouts out to Cousin Stiz. And then it goes from like rap talking to it like a more aggressive, like heightened, like a peak of like it's me rapping pretty fast and like hard. Like how an argument would like ramp up, like how people would yell at each other, and then it ends in like a more like forgiving, like sad, like somber, like almost like forgiveness tone. You know what I mean? It's almost like how an argument I think would take place. Like that was like that vision behind it.
Okay, now that you explain it, that makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I can kind of see that.
Yeah. But I still like I said, like that's one of the earlier tracks I did on like just a little mic in my buddy's room and stuff like that, and it wasn't as refined as I still wanted it to be. It wasn't until I got, like I said, the last half of Growing Pains is my personal favorite, because that's when I started getting a lot more refined with what I was doing. But as years go on, I'll probably not like the whole, like I might not like the whole thing, you know what I mean? Because I just always trying to top myself.
Word. And you said that this took you 2 to 3 years to make.
It took me it took me like a year to like put all together and stuff like that, but it took me 2 to 3 years. Like I wrote some of the verse on Withdrawal when I was like 16 years old, and I just put the like saved like those lyrics. I had those lyrics on my phone or whatever, and I like mix and match them everywhere. It's like recorded chronologically, written like all different times, pieced together different times. Blah blah. It took me around like 3 years to like piece it all together how I wanted it to like be, but like a year to like record it and like do the songs actually.
So is that usually how long it takes for you to get an idea from your head to?
No, I think I could write an entire album tomorrow. I could probably do an entire album tomorrow, and I could probably record it like probably a couple weeks. Give me like 2 months, 3 months.
Workhorse.
Yeah, I think I could.
Do you think you've always been like that, or do you kind of?
I think I've worked my way. Like I think through Growing Pains and doing like tracks on the side and stuff like that, I've gotten to that point like now where I could do that. But now, like that's not something necessarily that I want to do. I am super like take time with my work, and like I want to make sure I'm putting out the best thing that I can possible before I like have the world hear it, obviously. But like there is, I look at this right now as all practice. I'm practicing for like the show. I want to make a masterpiece. I want to make something that's like a classic, like a Mac Miller Swimming, Tyler Creator Wolf, Eminem, like Slim Shady LP, just like something classic like that, just like a Childish Gambino because the internet, a Lil Wayne, the Carter 3, like just like something like just classic. I just want to make something that'll go down in history.
Word.
So I'm just practicing, I guess, for that.
Now I've heard you say that you've gone through some eating problems while creating.
Yeah, man. Yeah, fuck.
And we were talking a little bit before the show about like how you actually, I don't know if you want to touch on it, like your schizophrenia.
Yeah.
How serious are you about the creative process, and how does that kind of like tie into, I guess, some of the mental health that you go with?
Oh yeah. I think if anything, schizophrenia helps me. Like I think it's like that Kanye shit. Like this is my superpower. But it's yeah,
ain't no disability.
Yeah, it's a superpower. Yeah, but it does. I like helps me freestyle a lot. Like it's like 2 extra dudes in my head that are like shouting words. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not. And like it's almost like my brain works that much faster because of them. Musically, like they help me. They give me perspective. Like if they're bugging in my head and I'm writing something, then like one of them might say something that gives me like a certain perspective that I wouldn't normally have. And like help me. Like if I'm thinking about something from a certain angle, maybe they give me something from a certain angle, and it sheds new light on what I'm talking about. So like I say,
it gives you like different perspectives to rap from.
Yeah, and like helps me just like the message I'm trying to get across. Like if I say something, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely gonna be received like this. But then I get like a little voice or something like that that's like, well, what about if somebody received it like this? And then I'm like, oh, I gotta change that. I can't have that like that, because I want it to be perceived a certain way, you know what I mean, or whatever. So I'd say like helps me more than hurts me for sure. Eating and shit like that, like you were saying, like I just found that, like, because I put so much, like I was obsessed with the music, I was obsessed with like just like the ideas. I would slump in other areas, putting all this emotion into like this one idea too. I struggled having good conversation with people, because I just like couldn't have emotions with them, or I just like I couldn't eat at times because I was just so drained, like draining myself, and not like just thinking about one goal, one idea.
Yo, I can totally relate to that, because like when I was still trying to do music, I remember how long it would take for me to like it would take so much out of me to like try and get this across the way I want to. Yeah, like, I wouldn't eat for hours because I'm trying to get this verse down. Yeah, and it damn near almost put me in the hospital. Yeah. Like really,
it's just, it can be like a
So
certain people, like honestly, like certain people should stay away from it. Yeah,
because the creative process, like it's definitely like an interesting thing, and it's definitely, there's a fine line. Yeah, it might be staying up late to get a song out. You never know when the song's gonna hit you, or when inspiration comes.
Yeah, right? It's weird. Like I always write my songs, like my best shit always comes at lunch. Whenever I'm writing, like it's weird that I don't eat. Yeah, it's because of that. Like sometimes like I'll be at work and like lunch will hit, and like I'll write a tired, like sick ass verse, and then I don't eat my lunch. I have to go back to work, and I'm just like,
damn,
fuck. Okay, I guess like this is what it is though. This is what it is. Yeah. So like, yeah, it is a. Because you don't know, like you're saying, you don't know when stuff like that's going to hit you. I'm pretty confident in my ability now, where I'd say, like, if I sit down and I have, like, something in front of me that's, like, a beat or whatever, I can sit down and write to it, and I can make something that I'm proud of. But, like, not as refined as I'd like it to be 100%. Like, if I sat with something for a couple days and would work with it, you know what I mean? It's different. I think there's different levels to the process of, like, what you ultimately want. Like, I think I could write something in, like, 40-30 minutes that's pretty good, and like I could get my message across, and if I really loved it, and if I was like, yeah, this is perfect the way it is, like, yeah, I would for sure work with that. But there's been a lot of times where I've done that, and then I've looked at it and been like, no, this is not where it needs to be yet. Let me work with it a couple days. Yeah,
checking things out.
Yeah,
replacing lyrics here and there. Stuff
like
that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, or just like I'll record a song, and then the next day I'll be listening to the song a lot, and then I'll be like, you know what, this part would sound so much better if I just did it like this. And then I go back and re-record the whole thing. Because I do all my songs in one take too.
Really?
Yeah, all my songs I try and get.
So what happens, let's say, if you mess up a word?
Go back from the start.
And you gotta, like you're saying, you won't do the punch-ins.
No, I'll do punch-ins very rarely, like unless I have like if I have a super long ass verse, then I mess up like one word at the very end or something like that, we'll punch like a certain section like that.
So say for example, tax money
0, all the way through.
Once through?
Once
wow.
through. Whole way through, once through. Every
dope.
time I screwed up, I had to go to the beginning, and I think I screwed up maybe once. I'm very, like, if I have a track written and I have the instrumental, I'm very like practice. I practice before I even get in there. And then when I get in there, it's like I know exactly how it's gonna sound.
It's second nature, pretty much, when you get in the booth.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's fucking. What were we saying?
Just saying like punch-ins and.
Oh yeah, punch-ins. Yeah. But I don't like to punch in. I do. I'll probably punch in when I'm making something like late for sure. As I go on, I'll be punching in, but like Growing Pains, I wanted to show growth, and I kind of wanted to lead like certain. I was finding when I was making tracks, I'd put like there'd be mistakes or whatever, and I would leave them in at times because I just like the sound of the mistake, or I like the sound of like on Crazy Honest. There's a mistake I left in because it sounds like it sounds like I'm playing a part. Like it sounds like I'd be talking to my parents while I mess up, and I'm like I fumble one of my words. Like while I'm saying it, but it's still understandable, and it's still, I think, like because I fumbled it, it gives it more artistic value. It gives it more like.
And you'll keep that in.
Yeah, so I kept it in.
Word.
So I think like doing something in one take there's beauty in that, and also there's beauty in like sometimes I'll be doing something in one take and I fall a little bit ahead or I fall behind and something like that, and I might add a word here, like lose a word here, stuff like that while I'm rapping. Like I'll be like reading it and stuff like that, and I'll just add like freestyle words in, freestyle words out, or whatever, and I might end up with something that I really like that I didn't write down. So like I like that ability of it too. Like it gives me, it sometimes it creates like pressure creates diamonds. You know, I put pressure on myself to do that, and
Right.
then eventually like sometimes I get like diamonds out of it. They sound really nicely because I add words in or whatever. You know what I mean?
Word.
Yeah.
Now you end the album
Mhm.
with a track. I want to say it's dedicated to your mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains.
Growing Pain.
Changes.
Changes. Yeah.
Why was it important for you to end the album the way you did?
Because I think my mother passing away was in some way, like I didn't really know what I was doing with Growing Pains until I think that happened. Like I was making tracks, I wanted to contribute to this idea. I was making all this stuff about my life, and then I think that when my mom passed away, it gave like a definitive ending to Growing Pains. It gave like I had talked about her so much on like the whole idea, like on the earlier tracks and stuff like that while I was making them and stuff like that. And then when she passed away, finally, because while I was working on it and stuff, I was like, okay, because I even talked bad about my mom on it quite a bit and stuff like
Right.
that, about how she like did me dirty at times.
Yeah, I noticed you have that. There's a bit of like there's an interesting dynamic
Yeah.
that you touch on with your relationship with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seems like it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, and I think it got to, like, I think her passing away gave me a completely different perspective. Like helped my growth a lot, actually, straight up, because like I had to deal with it. Like I struggled dealing with a lot of my issues and problems, stuff like that. But like when somebody passes away, that's something that you just have to deal with. Like it's just, you have to deal with it. It's faced right in front of you. Like there's nothing you can do. It's gonna you can choose not to think about it, but you're gonna think about it like one way or another. It's gonna happen. So I think like that attributed to my growth so much, and it also put it like a definitive. I don't know. It spoke to me like this is how I have to end Growing Pains, because like this is like the end of that chapter in my like life, you know what I mean? Like the end of like it sucks to say, but like I'm moving forward, you know what I mean? And like I have to, like I won't just be defined as like a kid that didn't have parents or whatever, you know what I mean? I won't be defined as that, like as just that. I want to make sure that I'm much more than that. So like I put an end to Growing Pains there, because I thought like that's where I needed to not cap my growth off entirely, but like cap that idea,
that section
that
kind of point in your life.
Yeah, that point in my life when I was like, okay, like this is something that I want to. I think this is all cohesive together. I think if I went any further, it would stop. I think Growing Pains would stop being cohesive. You know what I mean? So that's where I capped it off, and I think that it just all made sense. And then I wanted, as much as like I said, she did me dirty and stuff like that, I wanted people to know that I still have love for her. You know what I mean? No matter like people, like you make your mistakes, but your mistakes don't make you. You know what I mean? So I wanted to show that, and I think that's why the last track was the way it was. I wanted it to be for my mom, and I think that it's, a lot of people told me that it was a bad idea to have like a 10-minute song or whatever, but like I said, it was like this was for myself. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do it the way I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Didn't matter what people said. I thought like I still listen to Growing Pains every once, like I'll still listen to it every once in a while, just like that track, because it has like that soulful cover by Charles Bradley at the start, and I really love him talking about his mother in that light. And then it, like, if you notice, it has all the like, the reason why it's called Changes, because the way I mix the beat is because I felt like I was going through a big change in my life, and then I used all the songs that were used to make that beat were about change in some way or another. Like I used A$AP Rocky's Changes, and I flipped it in a weird way to like transition into X's, and then from Charles Bradley, that song's called Changes, and then it ends with Tupac Changes. So there's like 3 changes.
Wow, I didn't even pick that up.
Yeah, so I put a lot of like thought into that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed there was like 4 parts to the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't pick out that was A$AP Rocky's Changes or...
I just flipped it. I did a lot of cool
Changes.
things with like how I let it in. I wanted to make it sound like a build, and I took that build from this, like I took this build from A$AP Rocky. I think I reversed it, flipped it, transposed it, did a whole bunch of shit to it. And then I made it sound the way I wanted it to sound.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, that's dope. All right, well, we're kind of getting close to the end of the show, the podcast. I do want to end off with a freestyle.
Okay.
Do you think you got one in you?
Yeah, I got one.
All right, word. I just want to make sure that we don't blow up the mic.
Okay.
Now, I want to pick a Ninth Wonder beat.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do.
And I want to see how you spit to this.
Okay.
This is Kareem Pires, Yung Papi Bonito.
Yeah. I haven't been hot today, this feels great. Haven't been myself lately, but that's okay. Girls I never met calling me fake, but that's so late. See, even if I had no plays, I wouldn't step in your shit. Your shit is dull shit. Married to the game, I was forced to annul it. Yeah, that's right. Walking up these rock paths like I'm Tomb Raider, but I'm too jaded. Y'all know me, I'm Darth Vader. Evil with the villain. Y'all know me, bitch, yeah, still killing like I'm Akon. Say, mom, did you hit the bong so long? To all my memories, all shit, man, yeah, I have enemies, but I drown them with Hennessy, yeah, motherfucker, yeah, remember me, yeah, I have anemones, yeah, identities, yeah, is what I'm fucking losing, cruising, yeah, booze-filled afternoons, yeah, that's right, probably just mooning out the window with my fucking brown ass. Oh shit, man, crazy, grab a mask. Yeah, put this fucking bars in a flask. Then hope someone fucking drink it. That's right, plankton, bitch, I'm Pinkton. Yeah, and I just got my fucking dick in. About to eat it like it's chicken, finger licking. Oh shit, I'm slipping on the fucking chicken grease. Oh shit, man, yeah. If you got it, you should listen to these 16s while I get on my knees, but I ain't really got caps. Oh shit, bitch, I'm busting in a hat and I got clips, but no Mac. Yeah, I got lips, but no racks. Yeah, I got chips, but no tax. But we were clowning with the money. Oh shit, man, these hoes wanna get up on me. Yeah, nutted on her tummy, but now she the Playboy bunny, and I find it really kind of fucking funny how you try to play me last. Yeah, now I did it, it's my task. About to flip it like raspy voices. Oh shit, man, yeah, I want the voices. Yeah, riding on some horses. Yeah, and I just fucking finished. Oh shit, man, you got a limo, let me get up in it.
That was dope.
Thanks, yeah.
All right, is there anything that you want to let the people know about? Anything that you got coming up? Anything you want to send some good energy to?
Yeah, I got I'm working on this. I'm working on an EP with Prophet from here. I'm working on an EP with OJ, the producer, from somewhere. I don't know where he's from yet. I gotta ask him. I'm working on an EP with Charlie. I got a lot of new music coming out. I'm always saving stuff for the masterpiece. Always put enough little stuff on my SoundCloud, so you guys can all check that out.
Yeah, where can they check you out?
Oh yeah, check me out at soundcloud.com/Yung Papi Bonito. It should be all there.
We'll put all the links in the description.
Put links in the description. Also, like if you follow me on Instagram, it's Cash Money Cream, and you can all links always in my bio for whatever I'm doing. So yeah, you can check me out.
Word. All right. Well, this has been the Hip Hop Heads podcast with Esteban Xound here with Kareem Pires.
Thank you.
And until the next time, peace.
Peace.